So today I'm going to be talking about the secret to getting rich fast. Growing up, there was always like a stigma attached to getting rich fast, right? Like I remember people would always say when I wanted to get into entrepreneurship, isn't this a get rich quick scheme? Aren't you doing something sketchy? And I think there's a big misconception when they say that, right? Why do people always say, oh, this is a get rich quick scheme, like it's something bad? The truth is you want to get rich quick, don't you? Why would you want to be rich as an old man when you could be rich in your 20s and party and travel the world and experience a lot of things before even having kids? And then you have kids and they're all provided for because you're already a millionaire. That's what getting rich fast does for you. In fact, I got rich fast and millions of others of people all over the world are getting rich fast as well. So then why is there such a stigma attached to this get rich quick idea, right? This get rich quick scheme. And the truth is, it's because people are mistaking get rich quick with get rich easy, right? There's nothing wrong with getting rich quick. In fact, you want to get rich quick. But there is something wrong when someone tells you that you can get rich easy. Hey, buy this crypto coin and you're going to get rich easy. That's sketchy. Hey, start this business, quote unquote, and you're going to get rich easy. That's the stuff you want to avoid. That's the biggest red flag. When someone says, hey, is this a get rich quick scheme? I always say, yes, it is. You want to get rich quick. It might not be easy, but it'll be fast. Because again, you want to have your money when you can enjoy it. So today we're going to be talking about this concept of getting rich fast. The number one secret that I kind of learned that changed my entire perspective on money, perspective on wealth, and the mindset shift that you guys need to have in order to get rich quick. Let's get into it.
I remember when nobody believed in me. I made $1 million, changed the scenery. I still remember when women were mean to me. These days I walk in the club with security. These days I'm feeling a change in the energy. These days you know that I gotta move differently.
So when it comes to making money, the number one most important secret that I want to talk about today is your wealth acceleration vehicle, AKA your wave, right? What wave are you on? Are you on a good wave or a bad wave? But a wealth acceleration vehicle is essentially how you're making your money. And there's typically a couple ways to do it. I want to talk about 3 of them today in this video. The first one is probably the most common and the one that a lot of people use, and that's just a 9-to-5 job, right? A 9-to-5 job is everyone's typical wealth acceleration vehicle, which is why they're not able to get rich fast. Because with a job, although it may be super safe and it may be super easy to get a job and just go there and work, you're not going to be able to make money fast enough. No matter what, your rate of making money at a job is always going to take you 20, 30, 40 years to get rich or make $1 million if you're lucky. The reason that so many people typically end up going with a job is because it's normally like a predetermined course for you, right? Like when people say that they're an NPC or that someone's an NPC, it's typically because they use all of these predetermined roles or jobs for them, right? As we're growing up, we go to school, they ask us what job we want. They don't tell you what business you want to start. In school when we're kids, they say, what job do you want? You give them a job. And it kind of programs in your head from a very young age that this is what you're gonna do, right? And you spend your entire life almost ready to go to this job. You go to middle school and then high school and then college to then get the credentials to go work this job. No one really talks about the money. They tell you money's not important as long as you like your job. But the truth is, you don't realize it until you're at your job that life sucks when you don't have enough money, when you're not making enough money to enjoy any of your stuff, to travel or enjoy your life. So you might have this job you always wanted, but now you're not making enough money, right? You're not a millionaire. You can't do things you like. You're struggling to pay bills. You have to work for a shithead boss. You're living check to check. And that's kind of the issue at a job. So most people, when it comes going back to their wealth acceleration vehicle, they're trying to use a job as their wealth acceleration vehicle. And it's really, really slow. That's like, imagine trying to travel across the country on a bike, like a pedal bike. That's kind of what I would compare a job to. Like, I'm sure you can do it. It's gonna take you decades in order to do it. So if that's okay with you, if your goal is to make money really slowly across your life, retire when you're 60, then a job is what I would recommend for your wealth acceleration vehicle. It's the safest way to make money consistently. You don't really have to live in fear because now you just get a paycheck every 2 weeks. But you just have to understand that you're not going to make money very, very quickly. You're never really going to have freedom until you're 60 or 70 years old. And a lot of the times you're going to struggle living check to check, paying your bills. And if that's for you, so be it, more power to you. I don't want to tell you how to live. But that leads me to the second wealth acceleration vehicle, and that's investing. Investing is typically letting your money multiply or grow by itself without you having to put in any of your physical work. So unlike a job where you're working in exchange for money, investing, you're taking that money and you're letting it grow for you and compound for you. You'll hear a lot of buzzwords like compound interest and how your money will double every 7 years. And that's great, but the thing is, it's still slow. When it comes to investing, it's not really a good wealth acceleration vehicle unless you already have a lot of money, because it's working on percentages and time. Here's what I mean by that. If you were to take $50,000 and invest it in the bank, let's say it grows at 10% a year. Every year you would only make $5,000 from that $50,000 investment. Hopefully you're still following me here. $5,000 does not change your quality of life. It doesn't allow you to go on a nice vacation. It doesn't allow you to buy a nice car. It doesn't allow you to live in a nicer place. It doesn't allow you to pay for your kids' college tuition. It doesn't allow you to buy nice presents for your wife or your children or your mom or your dad. It doesn't really change your quality of life. Now, your wealth might be growing, and sure, over the span of 5, 10, 15 years, that small $50,000 investment might now be worth $100,000 or $200,000. But again, $200,000 in the span of 10, 15 years is not that much money. You're making maybe an extra $10,000 a year. So your wealth is not accelerating fast enough. It's not really a good wealth acceleration vehicle. Even when you combine it with your job and investing, your wealth acceleration vehicle is still slow. You might have a faster bike that might have a little bit of electric powered bike that allows you to go a little bit faster, but you're still not getting very far with that. Which leads me to the final part, and the reason I'm rich and the reason I've been able to live a pretty good life. I chose a wealth acceleration vehicle that allows me to make a lot of money. And that wealth acceleration vehicle is a business. It's a high income skill, which I have turned into an enterprise. 14 employees, corporate office, corner office where I'm filming right now. I don't think you guys have seen it. Welcome to the office, by the way. We got some really cool content coming on that soon, so stay tuned for that. But business is the ultimate wealth acceleration vehicle because it allows you to make a lot of money fast without having to put direct time into it. For example, I'm in my office right now. I can go home to my wife, to my daughter. I can take a nap. I can wake up. I'm still gonna make the same amount of money because the business runs even without me, right? At least in the short term. So I can work 2 hours a day and I can still make $15,000 to $20,000 today. With a job, I wouldn't be able to do that because it needs my direct time, right? People in my office, they have jobs. So they're putting in their time to make me money.
Yes, we are.
And because I have this specific wealth acceleration vehicle, it allows me to make money really, really quickly and get rich fast. Okay, so there are different types of businesses you can start. Typically for all beginners, I'm assuming if you're watching this, you might be closer to a beginner, you might not have a lot of experience. You wanna choose a wealth acceleration vehicle that doesn't cost a lot of money to build. What I've built now is after the span of 7 years, so it is a little bit harder. But for you as a beginner, you can choose anything that revolves around the internet and social media because it doesn't require a lot of money. You can choose a business like social media marketing, which is exactly how I started, right? Helping businesses with their social media, getting paid to do it. You can choose all this other stuff like drop shipping or Amazon FBA or content creation. All of these things revolve around the internet, so they're relatively inexpensive to start, but they have huge upsides where you can make 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, even $100,000 a year. When you choose a wealth acceleration vehicle like this, it allows you to make money faster than anyone else and get rich faster than anyone else, and therefore be able to enjoy your life. Now, it is not all fun and games though, because a lot of people assume that it sounds way too good to be true. And the reason it isn't is because it is also a lot harder. I'll tell you this, starting a business is a lot fucking scarier than going to a 9-to-5 job. Some days when you start, you're discouraged, people are gonna judge you, you might not make money right away. Whereas at a 9-to-5 job, you kind of already know what you're gonna make. Hey, I'm gonna put in this amount of hours, I'm gonna make this much money. With a business, you could put in 90 hours and make nothing. And that's really discouraging for a lot of people, right? A lot of people, they can't handle that type of stress where they put in 90 hours, they put in all this time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears just to make nothing. They're gonna freak out if that happens to them. But the reward is also greater. So at a job, you might be settling where you're working, you're getting a certain amount of pay, cool, good for you, but you all automatically almost just get an average life the entire time. Whereas with a business, you take a lot of risk. It doesn't even have to be financial risk. It could just be risk of your time. You take a lot of risk as far as your time, your credibility, your reputation, and some people, they can't stomach that. But those that are willing to take the risk also reap the rewards. When people see me and they're like, oh, you're so lucky, you have such a good life, I almost get angry at that because I'm not lucky. I took the risk. There was a bunch of years where people just shit on me. They thought I wasn't gonna make it. They would judge me. They would laugh at me. And I had to shut up for 3 or 4 years while I was building in the dark before eventually I succeeded. And now that I succeeded, a lot of people come to me and they say, hey, you're so lucky, it all worked out for you. No, it wasn't that simple. I had to put a lot of work to do that. But that's kind of what comes with a business. So it allows you to make money fast, as opposed to taking a bicycle across the country. Now you're in a car. And eventually, you put enough time, put enough money into it, that car becomes a jet. And now you jet across the country, metaphorically and literally. I want you guys to think this. The purpose of this video is honestly just to give you a mindset shift, right? A lot of people always say like, what do you want in life, right? I think a better question you could ask yourself is, what do you not want in life? People say, oh, I want a nice vacation. I want a nice car. I want a nice house, right? What do you not want in life? Do you not want to be chained to a desk 24/7? Because at a job, you're going to have that, right? There's some people with nice jobs that might be able to travel, go on vacation. Maybe they're not living check to check, but they still have no freedom. Ask yourself what you don't want. And that's gonna be a good indicator of what to push you. I think sometimes envisioning the bad stuff will help motivate you in a way to do stuff that you don't wanna do. Because again, business is not fun when you're starting. And you don't get that immediate reward like you would from a job. Hey, here's your paycheck. I wanna just make something very, very clear. You will never get rich at a job because the wealth acceleration is not fast enough. It is not a fast enough vehicle to get you there fast. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that they can get across the country on a bike in one day, which is never gonna happen. The only way to get across the country in one day is to have a jet. So your vehicle has to be different. You can't try to get across the country on a bike. No matter how hard you try, you can't do it. You can't get rich with a 9-to-5 job no matter how hard you try, because most of the time, it's not a fast enough vehicle. It's not a fast enough wealth acceleration vehicle. So if there's anything you take away from this video, guys, I want you to realize that you have to make a decision, right? You have to choose your vehicle wisely, because if you don't, you will be doomed to the next 10, 20, 30 years of your life working for someone else, being at a 9-to-5 job, waiting for the day you're gonna get rich, when in reality, it's never coming. Hopefully, I got the message across. If you guys wanna learn the skill I did, social media marketing, I have a free class that I do, so you can click the link in the description of this video. It's gonna be there. I'm gonna teach you guys exactly how I was able to build my social media marketing business, how exactly I was able to do it. I think you should just check it out. Even if you don't know what you're gonna do, it could be for you, it could not be for you, but I know for me, it changed my life. And it's the reason why I'm able to do stuff like this. But all that being said, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching the video. Excited to come back with a lot more for you guys. Peace.